Y'all, we have finally reached a point where universities think that lifting weights needs a pronoun. Y'all, the University of Minnesota, they just launched a trans and queer strength training class. I kid you not. They absolutely did. And if you think that this is about fitness, you are already being deceived. My question is, since when did barbells need gender identity training? The University of Minnesota, they have completely lost their minds, and it's no wonder that Tim Walz is their governor. Okay, these weirdos, they have rolled out a special trans and queer strength training program because apparently squats and deadlifts now need to dismantle gendered assumptions. Y'all, this is not about health. This is clearly about ideology, and we need to call it out. So let's get into this. Grace and peace, you guys. Welcome back to Unshakable with April Chapman, where we discuss all things social, cultural, political, and theological from a biblical perspective. I am your host, April Chapman, and welcome to today's show. So something very interesting fell into my lap, and I wanted to kind of talk about it and tell you guys about it. I just got off the phone doing an interview with a news publication called The College Fix. And it is a breaking news editorial or news website that assists college students who want to launch news careers. And they reached out to me as an ambassador of Project 21 to talk about something really strange, but they wanted my thoughts on it. So on the University of Minnesota's campus, they have launched a new fitness class, and it is a strength training class for trans and queer people. And the reporter asked me, what were my thoughts on it? And I said, well, outside of knowing that this class exists, I'm not really familiar with this, but here are my initial thoughts. And I basically said, listen, let's be clear. Okay, we don't need a trans or queer strength training class to lift weight. Like this is not necessary. This is not about fitness. This is about ideology. Okay, biology doesn't bend for feelings, and observable reality still matters. And it needs to be said that the God of heaven and earth made us male and female. Okay, history has always affirmed that, biology affirms that, observable reality affirms that. And so, because of that, no amount of pronouns or special classes is going to change that fact. It's not going to change. And so, the creation of a class for strength training for trans people, in my opinion, this was just about redundancy and delusion. Okay, because think about it, fitness is for everybody. Okay, like a student can use the gym. Any student can use the gym. You can hire a trainer. You can pursue a strength goal of your choice. So if that is true, why do we need to create a separate identity-based class for something as universal as exercise, right? I don't see how this is going to help a trans or non-binary person. But what I do believe, though, is that this entrenches a delusion, and it reinforces the lie that this person's identity needs a parallel reality built around it. And this is why this is harmful. It is my opinion that it is unloving to affirm delusion or confusion. I don't see the University of Minnesota rushing for people who identify as felines. Okay, like if you believe that you are a cat, you may be the only one on campus, but I don't see the University of Minnesota announcing that they are going to operate a new class for people who identify as cats. And not only that, they're going to make the class free. You guys, this class is free. All of the other classes on campus come at a price tag of $75, but this fitness class is completely free. So that means if it's free, somebody is paying the instructor to do this, because I don't believe, now it is taught by a trans or queer person, right? But they're not doing it for free. Like, it's not, some sort of philanthropic endeavor. Somebody's paying for this. And so to me, this whole thing is harmful, because when universities create programs like this, they're not empowering an already vulnerable population. They're exploiting them. They're normalizing a mental and spiritual brokenness. And then on the flip side, they're punishing anyone who will not play along. Like, people like me get punished and get called unloving and intolerant and bigoted, because if I just make a truth claim, such as a man is a man and a woman is a woman, I am labeled as being hateful. The problem is, though, that means you'd have to assert that DNA is hateful because DNA disagrees with gender ideology. History disagrees. Observable reality disagrees. It is not bigotry to tell the truth. It is enabling evil when we pretend otherwise. And so what I'd like to see done is for us to put a focus back on just standards, right? Listen, we're all sinners. I am not better than a trans person, and none of us have a leg up on morality as it relates to this issue. But the truth of the matter is that God has a creaturely love for all of his image bearers, but he also has a standard, right? He has a standard for healthy gender expression, and trans ideology is a perversion of that standard. It is unhealthy to placate to a group of people who are clearly exhibiting some sort of mental and spiritual brokenness. The university's job is to educate, not to catechize students into radical gender theory and then provide some sort of special fitness class in order for them to lean in to their delusion. We cannot allow people to have their foolishness reinforced. Okay? And so overall, I pretty much told the reporter that I thought it was redundant. I thought it was harmful. It is unfair to other students to create an entire class specifically for trans strength training and then to make it free. These people do not want acceptance. They want to dominate and they want you to conform. I am sorry, but tolerance of a lie is not virtuous. It is cowardice, and more importantly than that, it is sinful. We have got to stop bowing to the insanity of these programs and start speaking the truth. And we can do so in love, but we speak the truth not because we hate people, but it's because enabling a lie is destructive to them. Fitness doesn't need a pronoun, and neither does reality. And so it is not hateful to tell the truth. It's actually harmful to affirm a lie. This is not a workout class. This is an ideology class that's disguised as exercise. And you don't need a special gym to be strong. All you need is the truth so that it can make you free. So I'm curious to know, what do you guys think? Can you believe that the University of Minnesota has actually created this fitness class for trans strength training? Do you believe the standard of strength training is different from a trans person than it is for the rest of us cisgendered individuals? I don't know. But do you think this has anything to do with fitness, or is this more to do with doubling down on the ideology that pits groups against one another and causes and introduces more confusion into the marketplace of ideas? Whatever it is that you think, leave me a comment down in the box below. And until next time, stand firm, stay bold, and above all else, stay unshakable. Grace and peace.